Oh man, so Bitcoin is on a tear and the stock market is like, hang on a second, you can't leave us behind because the stock market is continuing to rally. You've got the S&P up 0.6% today, you've got the Dow up 0.4% and the Nasdaq up 0.63% today. And the market is looking pretty green for another day. So you can see here, all the major indices are up, including the small cap Russell at 2,000. And you can see it's being led mainly by the following sectors. You can see healthcare is up 1.49%, energy is up 1%, we'll come on to that. Your IT is up almost 1%, utilities, finance is up, real estate, all the keys are up, only consumer discretionaries and staples are down. I'm assuming because Delta variant is still causing some cause for concern. So coming back to our watch list, let's take a look at the ones moving the most. You've got SunPower up 9%, and this is just one of the renewable plays. I mean, these, if you've seen them, they've been rallying a lot over the last 7 to 10 days, and we've definitely got to you've got to have some sort of allocation in your portfolio for these guys, because SunPower up 9%, Enphase, which I've mentioned many times, a big part of my portfolio and doing really well for me, up almost another 6%, Solar Edge up almost 6% as well, ChargePoint up 5.5%, First Solar up as well. So you can see all of these renewable plays are up heavily. You've got Matterport up another 6%, which I'm a big believer of. Unfortunately, I want to build out my position a little bit more, and you guys will know I just want it to dip down to 16, 17. I can top up a little bit more Matterport. You've got all the Bitcoin plays doing well. Coinbase absolute tearing through 300 now, which is really exciting for me. Again, Coinbase is a big part of my portfolio, bigger than I probably want it to be, if I'm honest, because I had to buy the dip a lot on Coinbase as it was getting wrecked post IPO. And again, we're just in an environment where some of the fears, some of the things that were keeping the market anxious are starting to go away. Let's carry on down this list. Actually, before that, let's head straight into some charts and let's take a look at the volatility index, because you can see that volatility has really plummeted down now. I mean, if you look at this, we're at levels here which we haven't seen since early September, and before then the dip in August, and then before then back into summer. So we can see here volatility is really down, and this right here, this coming down here is what describes the whole, what I'm trying to explain in terms of the sentiment of the market. You know, Evergrande is gone, the debt ceiling and government shutdown talks have dissipated. We now know that, you know, inflation is here to stay, and we've got certainty around that. We pretty much know tapering is around the corner. So the market doesn't have many uncertain catalysts which are worrying them, and therefore they know they can place their assets where they need to without any uncertainty. Now, obviously, we have to be cautious and ask ourselves the question of when will this start to rotate back up? I mean, looking at SPY, this always gives you a good indication. Let's look at the S&P, and you can see here these circles we had from our previous video where these are always where we should be buying the dip. We bought the dip heavily here, and now we're reaping the rewards of showing some strength in the market here. We didn't get scared. We bought in our favorite high conviction plays, and now straight away you can pick up the gains from there all the way back up to, already you're at a 3% correction back up, and when you look to see from the bottom here to the line, let that go, you're looking at least 4 or 5% to get to the white line, which is the all-time highs on the SPY. So I think that's the next place where we need to be heading to here. Is if we take a look at this, you can see here where the white line is drawn. This is where we need to be heading to next, 453. And you can see we're on an absolute tear. I mean, 5 really strong days of rallying. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of a cooling off. Having said that, RSI still has room, volume still has room, earnings seasons is here, and we're expecting good earnings for a lot of the companies. You saw the banks come out first and foremost, all beating earnings, and now we'll see the rest of the tech companies and consumer discretionary companies coming out and giving earnings too. So we'll be listening to those carefully. We're expecting earnings growth, so that should really push us beyond a record high here of 453. So expecting a good pump here on the S&P before we see much downside, although a little bit of a cooling off might make a bit of sense. 1 or 2 red days might make a bit of sense to call off, but I don't see this rally ending just yet. Let's take a look at a few of our companies. I want to start with Lemonade, because Lemonade is still one you've probably still got an opportunity on if you've missed it. I mean, we're still at these suppressed levels. Like I've said, under 70, I like Lemonade. I've accumulated quite a bit of a Lemonade, and this is one that is yet to move massively Lemonade. Now, Matterport is one of those which I've mentioned is pretty much, it's getting away from me. I mean, you can see this box I've drawn here. I want it to come in this box. Probably never going to happen, and I have to just settle for buying on dips on this one. If it comes below If it gets to 17, I'll be buying very meaningfully. But it seems to be that the market's cottoned onto this one, and I'm not going to get this sideways channeling opportunity again, maybe. So I have to keep an eye on Matterport. Square doing really well, moving from strength to strength. Again, following the S&P pattern, really bouncing off the bottom with some strength. Roku doing well as well. Again, I picked up some more Roku here, just like I did here and here on the dips. Doing well for me on Roku. Let's take a look at Palantir. It's often a fan favorite. Palantir in a nice uptrend, obeying this upward channel here for the time being. Palantir really needs to push above 30 now. But hopefully their earnings will be a catalyst for that mid-November time. We've really, Palantir, that's where it needs to get above. You've kind of seen these rallies come down, rallies up, comes down. It really needs to push through this resistance here at about the $30 psychological mark. So that's what we need to see on Palantir. Etsy, another one which has recovered nicely from the dip. Again, in my portfolio is Etsy, and we're in a nice uptrend on Etsy, looking strong. And I think Etsy's going to have a good Christmas period. I think the supply chain shortages may lead to some of these bigger companies struggling, and I think that's going to be an opportunity for Etsy, given their business model. So definitely one to watch out on. Nvidia looking strong. Again, look at everything. All these core companies bouncing off this dip and really heading high and trying to break all-time highs. So Nvidia's just been on a tremendous tear all of this year, pretty much. I mean, we're starting from the dip in March, which we saw across all of equities. It's been on absolute tear, has Nvidia. And then Coinbase. I'm really excited by this move on Coinbase. Look at this pump going on. We know we've had an announcement with Facebook around a bit of crypto wallet. Facebook want to use Coinbase's crypto wallet, which can be interesting. I'll do more research into that one, but that could be one of the reasons why we're up, amongst obviously Bitcoin pushing at all-time high levels literally as we speak. So really good that we push through this resistance level at 280 and it's gone straight to 300. I expect a bit of resistance at 300 here, but hopefully we can break through that and really head into some green grass for Coinbase. I think Coinbase is at peak FUD right now, and I've said that numerous times when we had the opportunity to be buying here at 220s. It was getting absolutely slammed ever since the IPO. You then had Gary Gensler giving them issue. They had to scrap their lend program despite some phenomenal earnings. So if you haven't watched my video on Coinbase, do go check that out. But it's definitely a great investment. Corsair, again, another one which has taken a bit of a battering, and I've been averaging down on Corsair. Again, this is a long-term play for me, so I'm not too bothered watching this in the short term. The longer this stays at 2025, I'm a buyer. And then when this rotates up, then we can, I mean, we've already seen this stock was trading at between 30 and 35. So you're getting a massive discount here just because of chip shortage issues and people misunderstanding the business model. So another great one there is Corsair. So let's see what's heading to the downside. Let's see if we've got any bargains, because whenever the market's green, we kind of have nothing to do. If there's nothing to buy, you know I don't like to buy in a green market. I'm only buying when it's red. Let's see. Okay, so Bitcoin play calling down, BTCM, Lemonade, yes, we spoke about. That's still one of the opportunities you've got. Recovery play, Carnival Corporation, Lucid calling off a little bit. WBA, yeah, I'm not sure why that's still down. I thought their earnings were pretty decent. But again, a bit of a reopening play. Clover flat, Redfin down, yes. Affirm, I wouldn't even call that down given the run it's been on. Peloton still down, $87 now for Peloton. SoFi calling off after its run yesterday. American Airlines down 1%. Okay, so not a lot of red here. Etsy flat, these are all pretty much flat here. Amazon, Netflix, Disney, AMC. Yeah, not many bargains here. I mean, probably I'm happy with my Lucid position, but if I wasn't, 24 is a decent price. Obviously it's hard to stomach when you know Lucid has been to 19. Let's take a look at the chart. Let's see what we can see on Lucid. There we go. Yeah, I mean, so it's hard to stomach buying Lucid at 24 when you had such an opportunity to buy it for a long time here at 17, 18, 19, 20. But if you haven't built out your position, in the long run, once we break through this 28 resistance, we're going to wish we had Lucid back at 28. So it's one of those ones where you don't want to be too emotional to your cost base, but you just want to make sure the position is the percentage of your portfolio that you want it to be on Lucid. Lemonade we spoke about. Firm, yeah, not one I ethically want to really get into. I mean, it's a good stock. It's clearly on a run. I made videos about buy now, pay later space a long time ago. Go check those out. And all these companies were on my radar. I just don't think long-term companies like Affirm and Klarna are healthy for the ecosystem, right? It's not healthy to be promoting buy now, pay later. I also think they have too few barriers to entry, and if the likes of Amazon, Walmart, these companies want to go and build these products themselves, they can. Incumbents like Visa can, Apple can, and therefore where does that leave Affirm, Klarna, these companies going forward? It becomes a battle for SMEs and small businesses, right, which is still a business in itself, and I'm sure they'll do pretty well, but just I don't like the societal impact that Affirm and Klarna are having, where people are now, you know, taking out debt in order to buy a t-shirt which they can't afford. I mean, it's not something I can promote, and therefore not something I can invest in on Affirm. Even though the stock price is doing well, if you're in it, congrats, go for it. You're on an absolute tear, and that is awesome. So Airbnb, interesting one, 0.32% down. Yeah, not one I'm interested in just yet on Airbnb. And that's about that. Those are the ones in the red, guys. So there we have it. A good market overall. Market is still rallying, and now we need to start thinking about, you know, what are the plays that we want to start exiting? Do you have any short-term requirements for cash that you need to get some of your stocks out? These are the kind of things you need to be thinking of. You know my investment thesis. I park money for a long term. I put them into my high conviction plays, and I do my best not to touch them. But naturally, everybody has their own circumstances, right? If you're trading options, naturally you're going to want to look for a time to exit those options. If you need that cash for a property project or real estate or anything else, then naturally you need to look for a time where the market is rallying. The market's nice and green right now. You've had a few number of consecutive green days, and for me, similar to the Bitcoin play, I don't want to be taking anything out. I don't want to miss out on any more pumps, and I think the market can really, I mean, you saw how far off we were still off on just record highs on the SPY index. I think we can go beyond that and break new records, similar to how we were doing a couple of months ago. So I can expect a good rally towards the end of the year, and so for me, I'm keeping all my positions there. If anything, like I was doing there, I'm looking for anything which is still a bit undervalued, which I can nibble at a little bit more. But otherwise, I'm happy with my positions, happy to let it run. In a green market, guys, psychologically, you want to do stuff, but you don't need to. You do your work in the red market. When the market was red and it was bleeding, and I came here on camera and I said to you guys, I'm buying Lemonade, I'm buying Matterport, I'm buying my favorite growth stocks, and I posted the video. That's when we need to act, guys. Not when it's easy now, when it's green and everybody's FOMOing in. Let them FOMO in, let them FOMO in, let them push the price up. We bought the dips, right? That's what we do. We want to be contrarian. We want to buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. And I think that's why we need to train that psychology in us, particularly for newer investors. That's really, really important. So there you have it, guys. There's my perspective. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, then please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. There's also the join button down below for you to join this channel as a member. So go ahead and do that. That will give you access to me to answer any of your questions around your favorite stocks, your favorite cryptos, or analyzing projects. Happy to do that for you guys if you become a member, and you'll get access to my members only community. I'll also pin comment at the bottom. I'll put a link to the new Discord community server. Again, this is free. It's open. Head over to the Discord community. Have a chat there. Talk about your favorite stocks in crypto. If we can get everybody in there talking about exciting projects in crypto and analyzing different stocks and looking at charts, that will be awesome. And I'll dive in there and give my 2 cents as well. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.